friend, Gabby Miranda, who is here tonight, was supposed to have Down syndrome. When her mother was pregnant, the doctors told her that her child was going to be a boy and that he would have Down syndrome. They continued to press her about having an abortion over and over again, but she was courageous and she never listened. When she gave birth, she had a girl and she did not have Down syndrome. This shows that the doctors are not always correct and you should not just kill a baby because he or she is not perfect enough or an inconvenience for you. Ladies and gentlemen, the first reason we must outlaw abortion is because the baby in the womb is a distinct human life. Modern medical science shows us this. We are no longer living in the past. We can see that the child at the moment of conception is a separate human life with his or her own DNA. The heart is visibly beating within only a few weeks. Abortions are stopping thousands of beating hearts every day. Within just 40 days, brain waves are developing, and in a short time, the nervous system is developed and the baby begins to feel pain. If you don't believe this, you can look at all the evidence we have today. Ultrasound technology allows us to watch abortions happening ourselves. There's a video available on the internet of a doctor explaining a suction abortion and showing us this procedure from the baby's perspective. A suction aspiration abortion is performed by dilating the cervix and literally sucking the child out of the womb limb by limb and crushing the skull and sucking it out of the mother. The child can be seen on an ultrasound violently moving and trying to escape the abortionist's tools. And from this ultrasound, you can see the baby's mouth open up wide in a silent scream. This is a horrifying thing, and we need to stop hiding our heads in the sand and see this for ourselves. Next, there's also legal precedent for this case. Most of you have probably heard of the infamous Laci Peterson case from 2003. Peterson murdered his wife Laci, who was pregnant with her first son, Connor. He was charged with the first-degree murder of Laci and the second-degree murder of Connor. The death of this woman led our Congress to pass the Unborn Victims of Violence Act, which is also known as Laci and Connor's Law. This was signed into national law in April of 2004. It states that any child in the womb is a legal victim. Our government recognizes here that an unborn baby is a human life, separate from her mother, and yet refuses to protect the same baby from death by abortion. We want consistency. Here in South Florida, I see a lot of sea turtle nests where the turtles have laid their eggs. I can be prosecuted and put in jail for harming or messing with these eggs, but it's okay for women to kill their unborn children? No, this should not be the case at all. Finally, my counterpart on the liberal side will tell you she is pro-choice. Well, in a way, so am I. I'm for the choice a woman can make before she has sex. I'm for the choice a woman has to not have sex or to use preconception birth control. This is the time where she can exercise her choice. Once there's another life involved, she should not make a decision. When my opponent talks about rape, we should not make the innocent child pay for the consequences of his or her father. Two wrongs do not make a right. Rapists should be the ones to go away for life or be put to death, not the innocent child. A woman can give the baby up for adoption, and there are many loving homes who would jump at an opportunity to raise a child. However, many people also argue that it should be legal when a baby is diagnosed with a disability. This should not be the case. All Americans, even the disabled ones, have the right to life. They are a blessing and shouldn't be looked at as a burden by parents. We are ending millions of lives that are the future of our country. As Ronald Reagan once said, I've noticed that everyone that is for abortion has already been born.
Justine, if you were so pro-choice, why would you outlaw abortion and cost the lives of millions of women who turn to unsafe abortions?
50 to 60 million babies have been aborted in the United States since 1973. And this is that's crazy compared to extremists like the Holocaust. That doesn't even compare. We don't live in the 1960s anymore. There's good medical treatment for women, and women can see that there's a life inside of them, and there are great opportunities for adoption and other things. And this debate is not about women, it's about the millions of children that have lost their lives.